Okay then guys, we are back. We've got loads to go over. As we move into 2026 over the next few days, we thought that we'd go for an article that indicated 5 things that fans want for Arc Raiders inside of 2026. These 5 things that were actually really good points, and I just wanted to have a ginormous conversation with you guys in the comment section about it, so we're going to break down each one, and I want to know your guys' opinions. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button, and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option. And on the 9th of January, we launch our brand new Gamerade. This thing is going to be incredible with new hydration chemical, and with the creatine being bombarded in there as well. This thing is going to be amazing for your top performance. And if you want to get involved with our giveaway, we gave away one just this morning, so get involved. Hit in the comment section down below and put in any coloured love heart you like, and it'll enter you in. With that being said, let's dive into the game and see what's happening right now with the top 5 things that fans want for Arc Raiders in 2026. So starting off on these top listings, there are 5 different things that they obviously go over, one of which is actually recruiting players on topside. Now it goes on to state right here that Arc Raiders is popular not only because of its gameplay, but also due to the social dynamic in-game encourages. It's a massive social hub where players interact in aggressive or friendly ways, making each raid memorable and not like the other. Allowing one to literally recruit other players into their parties on topside would certainly be a great addition. Now, this would obviously only work inside of the solo sector, as teams and parties only run up to players of 3 right now, so obviously trying to do that in squads wouldn't really work, but being able to run around in solos and recruiting people into your squad to make sure that you don't get killed off of it would be a pretty damn cool way to inject it into the game. Obviously, this takes in the aspect of you currently are going to worry about being shot in the back the entire time, so should you trust somebody that you just meet? It's a really interesting way to take a look into that one, because these 5 features overall, because this feature overall essentially makes it so that you are gaining additional support from friendly players, and it encourages you to sort of like make friends with people and then bring them into your party so that you can get the benefits that a group would actually have. I don't know if it's ever something that would genuinely work, because, well, it takes the whole idea of what solos is out of the game, right? But it could introduce you to new people to play with longevity. Anyway, moving on from that, in the number 4 position was the Expedition Project. Now, the Expedition Project allows players to get a clean slate in terms of their journey in the game. Once you finish the requirements of the project, you get a refreshed character and can begin again from scratch. Now, the only problem here is that the requirements for the Expedition Project are pretty demanding. This makes a player grind for hours over many weeks in order to get things done. Relaxing the requirements would allow players to experience Arc Raiders in 2026 better, especially newer players who are bound to want to reset at least once for whatever reason. Now, this one for me was a bit of a conflicting one at the moment. The first expedition went down pretty damn well, and at the moment there are still people that have managed to get the second expedition done in the first week, with over 50 days left on the clock to be able to get this thing done. I'm not too sure that the requirements are too demanding that people wouldn't be able to do it in the 2 to 3 month period that they actually give throughout that process. I think it's an interesting topic at hand, and it's definitely one to talk about, but I don't think it's going to be something that will ever stick inside of the game as far as being able to lower down the requirements, because people are achieving them pretty quickly anyway. Essentially, what this is leaning towards is having the more casual players actually be able to do the expedition and reset their character long before they're actually even hitting the max level of 75. Bit of a questionable motion, and I want to know what you guys think about it. In the number 3 spot, though, was new arcs and maps. Now, this is obviously something we're going to receive anyway, but they go on to state that these are somewhat obvious additions that players must desire for upcoming updates. However, adding new arc enemies at the largely already assembled of the deadly machines that certainly make the game more exciting in 2026. Perhaps larger threats such as the Matriarch should be introduced. This may unite many raiders who want to take it down, since a solo player or even a squad may not suffice. Apart from that, new maps are a given. Stella Montis was already introduced to the game and has so far received a warm welcome to the players. Newer additions with different terrain types would also be a much needed change in Arc Raiders in 2026. I think for me personally, just making sure that each map is not like the previous is going to be really important. Hopefully it's not something that we see duplications of. There is going to obviously come a point though where it's going to struggle to really make the identity of each one really well known. Apparently, from what I have heard, and again, this is only rumor, but it's allegedly meant to max out at around 12 maps inside of the game by the time that this game is officially at the point of, well, full development from where we're at right now. I'm actually really intrigued, that's for damn sure. If you could design your own map or your own arc, what is it that you would build and why? Let me know in the comment sections below. In the second of this listing though is a obvious one that I know a lot of you guys will agree with, and we've spoke a lot about on this channel already through recent news coming in for Arc Raiders, but it is outfit customization. They go on to state that the outfits in Arc Raiders are brilliant, however there are some limitations when it comes to customizing. One can't really mix and match outfits together, nor can they choose just about any color combination they desire. Players are kind of stuck with the options provided by the game in a strict sense, therefore it would be better to hit a range of customizability for outfits is increased in Arc Raiders in 2026. It would allow raiders to wear them in their own unique colors and designs to stand out from others. Now the only thing I don't understand about this game right now is why the customizations are so limited to the way that they are. You don't obviously have an array of color palettes that you can unlock. Most of them only have 2 to 3 color palettes that you can have per skin, and even then you can't mix and match any of the pieces in total. Bit of a weird customization for a game which is so widely known right now and has got so much to it as far as mechanics that are so broadly played. I don't really understand why the simplest of features such as customization are capped to a certain degree. Maybe this is to try and push more primary payments coming through the store. I have no idea. Let me know what your guys' opinions are via the comment section below on this one, because I feel like this one is such a hot topic. And finally, we've got to look at the number 1 spot, which was for Speranza to be made into an optional playable hub. They go on to state that the idea has been suggested on Reddit threads many times since the release of the game. Currently, players can navigate a menu to reach the necessary traders to check out quests in Speranza. Some players have suggested that Speranza should become a playable interactive hub. If that were to be implemented in Arc Raiders in 2026, players will finally be able to travel within the social hub and interact with NPCs such as traders and also one another. It could become a social landscape for players to make new friends and experiment with new objectives. However, this should not remove the menu option completely, as some players may enjoy getting to the point directly and focusing on their raids. Now, this for me is absolutely a must. I feel like this is probably one of the biggest key features when it comes to the multiplayer facet of this game. One of the biggest points of this game is the fact that we've got the proximity chat. Now, obviously, you wouldn't have that on inside of the social space because it would be pure carnage, and I'm not too sure my ears could take it. But what you could find is that the social inside of this game, because the proximity chat is so widely now known and it's made it such a popular title, that even other games such as Marathon have now input it into their game, ready for the launch of their extraction shooter. So if you could make it so that there was an actual social space with the text box in the bottom corner, people could communicate, then maybe we'd have a little bit more of a connection towards the traders, as we'd be able to go and actually find them, see them interacting in their natural habitats, and be able to speak to other players and potentially team up as solos and get each other's addies and be able to find all new ways of being able to play as Arc Raiders together. I think for me personally, it's probably one of the most wanted features inside of Arc Raiders for 2026, and I do really request that anybody from Embark Studios really leans into this one. I don't believe that anyone from Embark has actually made any statement on this right now, but it could be a very key feature to the game if it was something that they were to work on over the next year. So let me know in the comments, would you guys want to have that one in there? Would you want to see Speranza made into an optional playable hub? I think it could be a lot of fun, man. I really do. Nonetheless, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. A massive shout out to sportskida.com for the actual original article push out, and it's been an absolute pleasure playing with you guys today. We are live most days, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel as we've been going into Speranza and diving topside to try and get these damn trials completed at the most highest level we possibly can. Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.